I caught my fiancé in a hotel room kissing my best friend. His arms wrapped around her like they belonged to each other. Their eyes were locked. Their bodies are too close. The pain hit me like a blade straight to the heart. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. My name is Amara, and this is the story of how the two people I trusted the most destroyed me. If you've ever been betrayed by the ones you never thought would hurt you, keep watching. And before we dive deeper, please support me. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell for more real-life stories like this. The rain had been falling non-stop since morning, making the entire house feel colder than usual. I was curled under my blanket, scrolling aimlessly through Instagram stories and checking my WhatsApp every few minutes. Not because I was expecting anyone, but because I missed my fiancé. He had called earlier to say he'd be working late. Something about last-minute reports his boss dumped on him. I believed him. Of course I did. My fiancé, let's call him Tobi, and my best friend Lola. Tobi was the kind of man who rarely lied. Or so I thought. It was supposed to be our weekend together. We hadn't seen much of each other due to work stress, and we'd planned to cook, watch movies, and just be us. But now, it was almost 9:47 p.m., and he still hadn't texted back since 5 p.m. I sighed, hugging my pillow tighter, trying to ignore the heavy feeling growing in my chest. I reached for my charger, when suddenly, a WhatsApp message and photo from unknown number. It says, "Check room 201, see what your best friend and your fiancé are doing behind your back." I stared at the screen, my heart slowing, then speeding up like it couldn't decide what to do. My finger trembled slightly as I tried to zoom the picture. Don't do it, my mind warned. Ignore it, probably spam, maybe it's a prank. But curiosity, no, something deeper, something aching, took control. My fingers trembled as I zoomed in on the photo. My fiancé and my best friend in a hotel room. I could feel my throat closing. I froze for a full minute. I didn't blink. My chest felt tight, my stomach turning. I zoomed in. I knew that hotel. I knew it too well. That was Palm Dew Suites. The same hotel Tobi had taken me to for our 1-year anniversary. The hotel where he whispered he could see a future with me. A future? Oh my God. My hands were shaking as I stared at the picture again. My heart beat louder than the rain outside. Who sent this? I quickly dialed the number. It rang once, then switched off. My chest tightened. Was it a mistake? A prank? Or was it Lola? Why would she send me proof of her betrayal? Unless someone else was in that room. Someone saw them. Someone who wanted me to know the truth. I jumped out of bed like someone had poured hot water on me. My mind raced as I threw on my hoodie, grabbed my car keys, and slid into my slippers. No makeup, no bra, no plan, just pain. The rain hit my face the second I stepped outside, but I didn't care. Let the whole world soak. My heart was already drowning. On the short drive, my mind screamed. Maybe it's an old picture. Maybe there's an explanation. Lola would never do this. Not to me. Tobi. He loves me, right? But deep down, I knew the way they were kissing and holding each other, the warmth in his smile. The easy comfort of two people hiding a secret. How long? Why? What did I do wrong? Tears blurred my vision, but I kept driving. Every raindrop on my windshield felt like another betrayal. When I got to the hotel, I didn't even know what I would say. I just knew I had to see it with my own eyes, maybe to believe it, maybe to break for real. I parked carelessly and walked straight into the lobby, ignoring the receptionist's concerned glance. I went straight to room 102, but they are no longer there. Then, I heard a laughter. Familiar, loud and hers. I followed the sound toward the bar area, just around the corner from the reception. And there they were. Tobi in his brown shirt, the one I bought for his last birthday. Lola in a tight green dress I hadn't seen before. Holding hands across the table. My heart stopped. Not the romantic kind of stop. The crash into a wall and never breathe again kind. They didn't see me at first. They were too busy gazing into each other's eyes. My boyfriend and my best friend. I took a shaky step forward, and they both looked up. Lola's smile faded instantly. Tobi's eyes widened like he'd seen a ghost. And me? I was no longer the girl waiting under the rain for his text. I was the storm. Tobi's mouth opened, But no words came out. Lola quickly looked away, pretending to sip her drink, her hands trembling slightly. My heart pounded so loudly in my ears, I could barely hear anything else. I wanted to scream, cry, disappear, but all I could do was stare. My body stood still, but my mind was racing, back to the very beginning. Let's talk about how I met Tobi and Lola. Tobi. The man who once looked at me like I was the only girl in the world. We met at my cousin's wedding 2 years ago. He was one of the groomsmen, tall, clean-shaven, with that smile that could melt butter. He had a calm, respectful way of speaking. Not pushy, not flashy. Just genuine. After the wedding, he called. Then he called again. And again. Before I knew it, I was smiling at my phone every morning. Tobi made me feel safe, seen and wanted. I had been hurt before, but with him, love felt easy. He never forgot anniversaries. He brought flowers just because. He rubbed my back when I had cramps. I told my friends, this one is different. And he was until now. Then Lola. My best friend, my sister, my person. We met in 100 level at university. She stood up for me when some girls mocked my cheap shoes. We laughed, cried, fought, and healed together. She was bold, beautiful, and had the loudest laugh in any room. Everyone liked Lola. Especially men. But I never worried. Not with Tobi. She helped me plan dates with him. Gave me makeup tips when I wanted to look extra pretty. She even picked his birthday cake with me. When Tobi came over, he always brought snacks for her too. They joked, talked, even watched movies together when I wasn't home yet. I thought it was love, our love, and deep friendship. I thought I was lucky to have both of them in my life. How blind I was. Back in the present, my legs moved on their own. I walked closer to their table, and they both stood up awkwardly. The air was thick. My wet hoodie clung to my skin, but I didn't feel the cold anymore. Just fire inside. So this is it? I said. My voice was calm, but sharp, like broken glass. Tobi opened his mouth. Babe, I can explain. Don't call me that, I snapped. You lost the right. Lola looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her. I turned to her. You? My best friend? You planned my birthday dinner last month. You helped me choose the dress I wore for him. How could you? She looked at her feet. Her voice was barely a whisper. It just happened. Just happened. I laughed bitterly. Did you trip and fall on his lips too? Tobi ran a hand through his hair. I didn't plan it, I swear. It was a mistake. How long? I asked. My hands were shaking. Be honest. They both stayed silent. How long? I shouted. About 2 months, Tobi finally said. 2 months. 8 weeks. 60 days of lies. Of them sneaking behind my back while I thought we were building something real. My chest felt like it had been cracked open. I gave you everything, I whispered. My time. My love. My trust. And you, both of you, threw it away like trash. Tears ran down my face, mixing with the raindrops. I didn't care who saw me. My pain was loud, raw, and real. Tobi reached out. Please let me explain. It started after that fight we had. The night I walked out. Lola came to check on me. We talked, we drank. Stop. I held up my hand. Don't blame alcohol. Don't blame stress. Blame yourself. Lola finally looked up. Her eyes were red. I never meant to hurt you, she said. I hated myself every time it happened. But it didn't stop you. I said coldly. I took a deep breath. My voice shook, but I stood firm. I trusted you both. I thought I had love. I thought I had friendship. But all I had was a lie. Silence filled the space between us. People were starting to look, whispering. But I didn't care. Let the world hear. Let them know what betrayal looks like. I grabbed my bag. I hope you're happy, I said. Because you've lost me forever. I turned and walked out of the hotel. The rain hit my face again, hard and cold, but this time, it matched my heart. Each step I took felt like tearing away from something that had once been part of me. Love didn't live here anymore. I stayed in bed for 2 days. I didn't eat. I didn't shower. I just laid there, staring at the ceiling, listening to my heart break over and over again. The betrayal played in my head like a bad movie I couldn't turn off. The hotel. Their faces. The lies. The truth. Sometimes I cried until I couldn't breathe. Other times I just stared, empty. I kept asking myself, how did this become my life? My sister, Ada, knocked on my door. She brought jollof rice and fried plantain. My favorite. She sat on the edge of my bed and touched my arm gently. Please eat, she said softly. You need strength. I turned away from her. I can't. I feel sick just thinking about food. She sighed. I know it hurts. But you'll survive this, I promise. I didn't answer. What was there to say? The two people I trusted most had broken me in ways I couldn't explain. I felt like I'd lost more than just love. I'd lost my home, my peace, my sense of self. That night, I scrolled through my old pictures. Me and Tobi at the beach. Me and Lola eating suya on the floor in our pajamas. Laughing. Hugging. Dreaming. Were all those moments lies too? I saw a picture of us three. Smiling, arms around each other. I almost threw my phone across the room. Suddenly, a message popped up. It was from Lola. Can we talk? Please. My chest tightened. What more could she possibly say? But something in me needed to know. Maybe it was closure. Maybe it was pain. Maybe I just needed to face her one more time. We met at a quiet cafe the next morning. She was already seated at the far corner, wearing dark glasses. She looked smaller than usual, like all the life had drained from her. When I sat down, she pulled off her glasses. Her eyes were swollen. She looked like she hadn't slept either. There was an awkward silence before she spoke. I'm sorry, she said. I know sorry doesn't fix anything, but I needed to say it again. I nodded slowly, but I didn't reply. I just stared at her, waiting. She looked down at her hands, playing nervously with her ring. Then she whispered something I wasn't ready for. I'm pregnant. I blinked. What? I found out 2 days ago. After you saw us. I took a test. I didn't plan this. I don't even know how to feel. Tobi doesn't know yet. My breath caught in my throat. The room spun for a second. You're carrying his baby? She nodded. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I didn't come to ask for anything. I just thought you should know. I don't even know if I'll keep it. I stood up so fast, the chair scraped loudly. You betrayed me, slept with my boyfriend behind my back, and now you're pregnant? And you think I need to know this? She grabbed my hand, begging. I'm not proud. I hate myself every day. But you were my best friend. I owed you the truth. I pulled my hand away. You owed me loyalty, Lola. You owed me honesty. You owed me my peace. She wiped her tears, her voice trembling. I don't want him. I swear. I didn't expect it to go this far. I don't even know what to do anymore. I felt like I was floating outside my body. My emotions were all over the place. Anger, sorrow, confusion, disbelief. I walked away without another word. That night, I sat in the kitchen with my sister. I told her everything about the hotel, the betrayal, the pregnancy. Ada covered her mouth in shock. What will you do now? She asked quietly. I shook my head. I don't know. Part of me wants to burn it all down. Another part just wants to disappear. She reached out and held my hand. Don't rush your decision, but whatever you choose, do it with peace, not revenge. I nodded, but my mind was already full of war. Should I tell Tobi? Should I walk away and let them suffer with the guilt? Should I forgive and try to heal quietly? Or should I destroy everything they tried to build behind my back? I lay in bed, tossing and turning. The image of Lola crying, holding her stomach. The sound of Tobi's voice saying, it was a mistake. Then, a knock, soft at first, then again. I got up slowly, heart racing. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened the door and froze. It was Tobi. His eyes were red. He looked like a mess, unshaved, wearing the same clothes I'd last seen him in. His lips trembled. Please, he said, voice cracking. I couldn't sleep. I can't lose you. I made the biggest mistake of my life. And in that moment, standing in the doorway with 1,000 broken pieces between us, I realized. I thought I'd made my choice. Until Tobi showed up at my door the next morning, crying. Tobi stood at my door, tears in his eyes, voice shaking. Please, just give me one more chance. I messed up, I was confused, lonely. I didn't think you'd ever find out. I didn't speak right away. I just stared at him. This was the man I had once loved so deeply. The one I had imagined a future with. The one I trusted with my heart. Now, as he stood in front of me, crying, I didn't see the man I used to know. He felt like a stranger. So you did it because you were lonely. What about me? I finally asked, my voice calm, but cold. He looked down, ashamed. I don't know what came over me. I wasn't thinking clearly. It didn't mean anything. It was a mistake. Please. I'll do anything to fix this. I sighed and leaned against the doorframe. But it did mean something, Tobi. It meant you didn't care enough to stop. It meant that our relationship didn't matter in that moment. It meant that my best friend, the girl who called me sister, was worth risking everything for. He shook his head, stepping closer. No, that's not true. I care. I still love you. But love? What did that word even mean now? I thought about the nights I cried myself to sleep. The days I couldn't eat. The mornings I woke up feeling like the world was too heavy to face. I thought about the pain, the betrayal, the lies. And I thought about who I was before all of it. I used to smile with ease. I used to trust people with my whole heart. I used to believe love was enough. Now I knew better. Love wasn't supposed to break you. Love wasn't supposed to lie to you, cheat on you, and leave you to pick up the pieces. Tobi, I said gently, but firmly, this isn't about hate or revenge. It's not even about you anymore. It's about me. I need to choose myself this time. His eyes widened. So, you're leaving me? I nodded. Yes. I'm walking away. Go and be with your pregnant girlfriend. Tobi blinked, confused. Wait. What did you just say? His mouth dropped open. No, that's not possible. Pregnant? Are you serious? He staggered back a little, as if my words had hit him in the chest. She never told me. I didn't know. I could see it in his eyes, the fear, the guilt, the sudden weight of the truth crashing down on him. Of course you didn't. But you were sleeping with her behind my back. What did you think would happen? He ran his fingers through his hair, pacing. I messed up. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was lost. I swear I didn't want this. I stepped back, holding my tears. But you did it anyway. You chose her, Tobi. Now live with the result. His eyes filled with panic. So, you're leaving me? I'm done, Tobi, I said gently but firmly. You made your choices. Now I'm making mine. He stood there, speechless, helpless and broken. I stared at him one last time. I turned toward the door, my hand trembling on the handle. I paused for a moment, then spoke without turning around. This isn't what love is supposed to look like. Then shut the door behind him. That night, I sat on my bed and stared at the wall. Not in pain, but in peace. It was the first time in weeks that I breathed deeply. No more begging, no more explaining, no more waiting for an apology that wouldn't heal me. I picked up a notebook and started writing. I wrote everything. My pain, the shock, the heartbreak, the anger, the loss. And slowly I started writing about healing. About growth. About rediscovering myself. Each word felt like a stitch on a wound that had been open for too long. In the days that followed, I created small routines for myself. I started taking long walks in the evening. Just me and the sound of my footsteps on quiet roads. Sometimes I cried while walking. Other times, I smiled at the sky, grateful that I was still standing. I journal every day, pouring my heart out onto the pages. The notebook became my friend, my therapist, my mirror. I wrote letters I would never send, to Tobi, to Lola, to the girl I used to be. I started doing things I had stopped enjoying. Dancing while cleaning, trying new recipes, playing music loudly and singing off-key. Piece by piece, I was rebuilding my life. Not for anyone else, not to prove a point, but for me. One morning, I stood in front of my mirror and looked at myself closely. The woman staring back at me had tired eyes, yes, but there was strength in them. She had been through betrayal, heartbreak, and deep sadness. But she will never let it destroy her. I may not know what real love looks like yet, but I now know what it doesn't look like. And that knowledge, that's powerful. It means I'll never shrink myself to keep someone else comfortable. It means I'll never ignore red flags just because I'm scared to be alone. The days were slow and quiet. I was working on my healing, but I still cried, yes. A lot. Some nights I barely slept. Some mornings I didn't want to eat. But I kept moving. One little step at a time. I started journaling again. Pouring my thoughts into pages that didn't lie to me. Pages that didn't cheat or betray. Just listened. I took long walks. I'd let the wind hit my face and remind me that I was still here. Still breathing, still alive. Sometimes healing isn't loud. Sometimes it's just choosing yourself every day. Even when it hurts. One afternoon, I saw a picture of me and Lola on my phone. We were smiling, holding hands. Wearing matching dresses at her birthday party. I looked happy. I didn't delete it. I just stared at it for a while, then locked my screen. Some memories hurt, but they also remind you of who not to trust again. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just done. One evening, after taking a walk and writing in my journal, I decided to talk to my readers, the ones who have followed my story from the beginning. I sat on my bed, opened my notebook and wrote these words. Sometimes, the ones who hurt us the most are the ones we trusted the most. But healing, that part belongs to us. Nobody can take that away. I closed the journal and smiled gently to myself. For the first time in weeks, I felt a little lighter. Not fully okay, but better. I lay down ready to sleep. The room was quiet and peaceful. I was slowly finding peace again. Until my phone lit up, unknown number. No name, just a message in 4 words. You only know half. I froze. My hands went cold. I sat up quickly, staring at the screen. What do they mean? What else don't I know? I tapped the message to reply. But it was gone. Deleted just like that. I sat in the dark, heart racing again. The calm I had started to build cracked open. Was there more to this story? Did someone else know something? Was this message about Lola or Tobi? I didn't know. But I was going to find out. Because if there was more to this lie, I wasn't going to be fooled twice. I ended my journal that day with one final message. A message I want to leave for you too, dear reader. Sometimes, the ones who hurt us the most are the ones we trusted the most. But healing, that part belongs to us. You may not control what broke you, but you get to decide what builds you. And that is the start of everything new. Have you ever experienced betrayal from someone you truly trusted? I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a true life story. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.